Today I'm going to tell you something about some unusual monuments in England. The first one is Osmington White Horse. Sculpted in 1808 into the limestone, Osmington Hill is the 280 feet long and 323 feet high hill figure of King George III, riding his horse away from the Weymouth area, was most likely created as a compliment, but legend has it that the king saw it as an offense and never returned to the area again after viewing it. Despite the misunderstanding between the royal and his subjects, the Osmington White Horse remains just to the north of Weymouth and can be seen for miles. The Osmington White Horse was restored for a television show in 1989, but haste led to mistakes and errors were made. In August 2011, the horse was given a prank makeover and donned a unicorn horn made of plastic sheeting for a time. It finally got a proper restoration in March 2012 to prepare for the 2012 Olympics and has been brought back to the original 1808 shape by volunteers who spent 2 years carrying out the labor-intensive overhaul. The second one is the Angel of the North. With slightly angled wings, the massive Angel of the North that was built in 1998 has stood in embrace of its country, towering over Gateshead and greeting 90,000 staring faces every day. Designed and created by Anthony Gormley, the Angel of the North stands at a massive 66 feet tall and extends its wings to a length of 180 feet. Due to its position on a hillside, the angel's construction was a logistical nightmare. The statue needed the ability to withstand 100 mph or miles per hour winds and as such required concrete foundations 70 feet below the ground. All totaled, the foundations alone weighed 600 tons and sufficiently supports the incredible 200-ton statue. During its construction, this was one of the biggest concerns of the community. Many locals feared the drivers would gaze at the statue and ignore the road while driving, causing traffic accidents along the A1 road. The fear of traffic accidents and financial concerns over its state-funded $1 million cost led to bitter disputes around the statue and caused the project to take 4 years for completion. However, 13 years after its initial construction, the United Kingdom has returned the angel's powerful embrace, and the statue is now well loved across the nation. Now I want to tell you about giant straw sculptures of Snugberry's ice cream farm. Chris Sadler and his wife Cheryl make 2 things: ice cream and giant straw sculptures. Begun in 1998 with a straw version of the Millennium Dome, things have only built from there. The Sadlers come up with the concept each year and hire local Mike Harper to build the steel skeleton for the massive creations. Over the years, the sculptures have included the 2003 Constrovus, or a stegosaur of sorts, the 2004 Angel from the Northwest, the technically quite impressive Millennium Wheel of 2005, the Snugnik Rocket of 2006, a straw version of the Lowell Telescope in 2007, a windmill in 2008, Big Ben in 2009, and what no doubt drew the most attention of all 2010's 36-foot-tall meerkat. Like answering a deep desire that people didn't even know they had, the meerkat was a wild hit. In 2011, they kept to the animal theme and did a 9-ton, 38-foot-tall polar bear. Why would an ice cream company create giant straw sculptures that can take 3 months to complete? In the words of builder Mike Harper, people absolutely adore it. It says that it cheers them up and it doesn't cost them anything. Allies sculpture. When former Prime Minister Winston Churchill died on January 24, in 1965, Britain mourned just as the United States had done 20 years before when President Roosevelt died suddenly while still in office. In many ways, the two were very different men. Churchill was a staunch and belligerent conservative and former soldier. Roosevelt, a polio survivor, presided over the New Deal, one of the most far-reaching liberal reforms in the history of the United States. But pushed together by fate, Churchill and Roosevelt forged one of the most important relationships of the 20th century. After the war ended in 1945, many grandiose statues were made to celebrate the two heroes, but it was intimacy that British-American sculptor Lawrence Holofcener had in mind when he created Allies. The two friends sit on a bench talking amiably, with Churchill holding his trademark cigar. Princess Margaret unveiled the statue on May 2nd in 1995 to commemorate 50 years of peace. It is now a popular tourist attraction as visitors can take their place among two of the 20th century's most exalted heroes. The Dream. A 20-meter-tall artwork that was unveiled in October 2010 was designed and conceived by world-renowned Spanish artist John Plansa. The dream takes the form of a young girl's head with eyes closed in a dreamlike state. With a white, almost luminescent finish, the statue stands in stark contrast to the black coal that lies underneath it. Visitors are encouraged to check out the sculpture from various angles and at different times of day, as it has been designed to change reflectivity depending on how the sunlight hits it. The elongated face gives a slightly surreal effect, making the sculpture look like it was stretched in Photoshop. The sculpture is also supposed to symbolize the positive post-industrial transformation of the area and to become an iconic new landmark for the region to generate income from increased tourism.